Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Why don't you start out, Bob, by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've been in the business for myself in 1984. I was 26. Started out in the waterbed business. I don't know if you all remember what those were, but I built that up to 3 stores. And in 1990, I bought my first auto repair shop. Was a Muffler Man dealer. You've probably heard of them too. Over the course of that 17, so in 27 years, I had 4 different shops. Been married 27 years, I had 6 kids between us, 12 grandkids. I retired almost 7 years ago. And 2 years ago, after my wife retired, we moved up here. We now live on YouTube. And I love this place. I can't dream or I can even think about moving back to the big city. I love to golf as often as possible. There was a time I played 4 or 5 days a week. I played hockey till I was 45. So my dad always told me that I had an alligator mouth with a mosquito's ass. So I felt it was time when I started getting beat up too much to stop that.
Good morning, Bob. Why do you want to be a county commissioner?
Well, gives me an opportunity to get involved in the county that I'm now making my home. To try to bring a different perspective. I don't want to bring my downstate perspective up here, but I think that my 33 years in business will give me some ability to see things from a different side. I want to make it a better place to come to. I remember the first time I came through Clare County, I was about 10. I was in the back seat of a car. I had no idea where I was. And for some reason it stuck in my head. We were driving to Mackinac. And I didn't even know Clare existed. But for some reason, all these years later, I remember driving down right to the middle of town.
What personal qualities do you have that would make you an asset to the board?
Well, again, I think I can go back to my business. I've had to deal with a lot of different kinds of people, both employees and customers, and happy customers, angry customers. I have been involved in purchasing, training, and hiring, firing, and all the things that we have to look at here to administrate a county government. So I think those things are valuable assets.
What do you feel is the key responsibility as a county commissioner?
Key responsibility. I mean, we set policies, procedures. We deal with taxes and borrowing, and we oversee personnel. I think it's good that we have 9 people all looking at each issue, whether it's purchasing, which is important, and find ways to make sure we're buying right. We just have a set of eyes on any particular issue are important.
In addition to the board of commissioner meetings, how flexible is your schedule? Would you be committed to attend other meetings that would be held in daytime evenings, such as township, city, or community meetings?
My schedule is totally flexible. I'm retired. Yeah, I definitely plan on attending the township meetings. Obviously, the board meeting here, we have other meetings with committees that we may be on. But yeah, definitely committed to doing the job the way it needs to be done.
Okay, what problems do you see with Clear County and how you feel you could help them?
Well, I don't know about the specific problems or how to fix the problems because I'm looking at it from the outside. And sometimes it's easy to come up with a solution to a problem when you're on the outside and you don't know all the nuances, particular issue. Some of the issues we're dealing with, one of the hot topics is the data centers is something that needs to be addressed, that I don't know if we can do anything about it, but it's certainly a problem. Ambulance times, funding of departments like the airport is something that needs to be addressed. But again, I don't have any solutions. I don't profess to know a solution, but I believe that we need to get more information, as much information as we can, collaborate, talk to people who are more knowledgeable in any specific area. Come up with a real solution that works. I'm only smart enough to know that I'm not smart enough to know.
It's your turn, Scott.
If you were appointed to the Board of Commissioners, what would be some of your individual goals?
I think working on efficiencies to in each department. I think there's a lot of waste the bigger an organization gets, the more unwieldy it becomes and the more difficult it is to contain cost and to motivate. I think that trying to develop a working situation to try to make the employees of the county happier. I think that a happy workforce is a more productive workforce. And when we're limited with resources, as we always are in small government, I think the goal would be to find ways to be more productive with those limited resources. Again, I don't know all the ins and outs because I'm not on the inside. On the outside looking in, that's I think what I'd be looking at.
Job number 5.
Okay, yes, ma'am. How much time are you willing to spend being involved in county affairs, considering the pay is only $12,000 per year?
Yeah, well, I don't think any of us got into this for the money. Because it is only $12,000 a year, so it's not really about the, it's as far as time goes, in addition to other to the meetings that are required here in the townships, whatever time it takes. There's gonna be situations that come up that require additional time put in to get something done, get it done right. So whatever it takes.
Do you see yourself as a policymaker or a peacekeeper or both?
Well, policies like laws are written for the greater good. And being that they're just for the greater good, there's always going to be people that disagree and aren't happy about those kinds of things. And so the question goes to that type of peacekeeping. Those angry people, we need to find a way to get them to understand what it is that we did, why we did it, hear them out, try to either bring them along with the new policies, or at least accept it more peacefully. So I guess on both of those things.
Oftentimes, the position will hear complaints from citizens on a particular service or event, certain issues, you come before the county board of commissioners and can become quite heated. How do you deal with pressure and or stress? These can be specific examples.
Well, I mean, I can go back to the years of business, and there's no way to keep every customer happy. Over the years, I've had plenty of angry people, but sometimes they holler and yell, and it's important to hear people out when they're in that position. In the meetings that I've attended, I see people that are angry. And in this forum right here, it's difficult because there's a time. But outside of this, allow people to allow them to talk and talk themselves out. And once they talk themselves out, then we're able to have a more constructive conversation. And people tend to calm down.
In past years, the county has had to reduce department expenditures, including position elimination or staff reduction from full-time to part-time. How would you go about deciding where to make cuts, considering that most of our budget goes to employee salaries?
Well, we have to look at essential services first. There's some things that we just cannot cut. Need to find a way to, when you take people from full-time to part-time, we may lose people who can't work on a part-time salary. Or they may be asked to do additional duties to make up for time, and that's difficult to do. If you're gonna do a top-to-bottom audit to find a way to reduce those expenses, again, you would start at the top and work your way down, and then there would be some services that, and some employees that will just have to be like that. But it would require consideration that could be pretty time consuming to do it the right way. I mean, not exactly Doge, but kind of Doge light.
Bob, if you're appointed, you plan to run in the upcoming election.
I do. I've been in my mind designing my signs right now.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for us?
I don't really have any questions now. Should I be appointed, I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot of questions. It'd be my first foray into this. So there'll be a lot of questions that I have. I'm sure that everyone here is willing to answer those questions. So I'll be leaning on people for advice.
Now, we don't always agree on things. And that's a good thing because it stimulates discussion, you get to hear opposing views and help us make decisions more compromised. So in that sense, it's not always a unanimous decision. Even if you were opposed to an issue, would you be able to support the decision that the commission comes up with when you're talking to the public?
Absolutely. That's just how group works. So I've been known to advocate pretty ferociously for what I believe in. But if that's not what ultimately occurs, then I've got to get behind. I played team sports all my life. I didn't always agree with the offensive coach call, but my job was to go out and perform what he said to do. So it's not always my own personal opinion that matters.
Anything else? Okay, thanks, Bob.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. I will be calling you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Leave.
Lori has balance for us. I personally would like to see us let these people know today who we're going to pick, and I think rather than discuss them individually, it would be better to take an initial vote. And see if we have a distinct winner. Because this person's gonna be someone we work with for the next 2 years. And I'd rather us not start out by making derogatory comments about any one individual. So if we can take a vote first and see where we stand, there may be a distinct winner, and if there's not, then we may have to resort to discussing both. Why don't we take the initial vote, see if we have a distinct winner? You like them?
Yeah, these have your name on them, because it has to be pulled.
Oh, here's yours. You know, George, I would like to say that I thought all three of them had been sent the deal. And, I'm just glad that you were trying to hear the years ago, and I didn't.
Yes.
think I would guess that.
No, it's allowed, it's
So-
not a secret.
My take it was, all three of them did it.
You would have won, you interviewed against one of the best. So.
Well, I never viewed against you. Oh,
If there were more.
harassment.
As soon as they met me, they said, yeah, we want Judge.
I would just be done in public and it has to be. You have to know.
Tough decision.
It is.
Did she think that, you know, yeah.
Secret ballot.
He's talking to Lori, and those will be public record too, right? So someone can pull them if they want to.
Yes. You'll see your name. I put your name. And then the clerk will have to read them.
Got your reading glasses? Ooh,
I just got one question before we do this.
good.
Once
I
you
don't
vote,
have
isn't it a done deal?
These
If
are
there- if we have a dis-
gone.
we have a-
They're just gone now.
If they got one more vote, is that a winner or what? What are they
Yeah.
doing?
Right.
The majority,
it's
it's a majority.
So I think out of the 3 people, somebody has to have.
Whoever
5
has the most votes,
Everybody has three, it won't work then.
right?
Everybody has.
Well,
Thank
there,
you.
there, it's impossible.
Oh, yeah, we only got 8.
Yeah.
I got 2 pieces of paper, Dave.
Oh, really? I got one.
Who's gonna count, you and Isha?
Isha,
So we're gonna pass them down to each one.
repeating the commissioner name as I.
You can.
Okay.
Or you don't have to, just read them.
Freestyle.
It has to be pollable, like it's gotta be on record of the minutes. That you voted for who. If somebody.
If you just want to say it, you just.
No pressure.
You guys.
Not yet, I'm not sure, I want to change my mind.
I'm looking through my notes. Jeez Louise.
Didn't take long.
Let me see if I approve them.
Thank you.
You want me to fold them? Don't fold them. Doesn't really.
Fold it
matter.
up.
You gotta keep-
Everyone's gonna find out anyways. No point in folding it. But easier for transport. Gotta try folding.
I will say, having personal reference from a long sitting commissioner was probably beneficial in my decision, to be honest with you.
Mark.
Kind of ratted myself out there, didn't I?
What?
Yep. Well, public record. Me too.
They all,
We find,
I think they all.
like I said.
Okay, so
Interview with that.
3 votes for David Maxon. And we have 5 votes for Bob Kesey.
Okay, then I think we have Bob as a definite winner.
Okay, so I will send them an email and CC the board on email. Don't respond.
Okay.
And then, or you'll be ready to swear him in at the next meeting. I'll give him all the information.
Didn't you say you were gonna call each one of them personally?
I will call each one of them person.
And I think Jack made a good point. That maybe that should be repeated when you call them.
I will.
Everybody was a very good candidate.
I could have lived with him.
They all did a nice job with the questions.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to, in honor of the question we had, for the end of each candidate, I'd like to ask that we have a second ballot for unanimous consent. That we all vote for the person one, so that when it comes to be announced.
Okay.
Right.
So we're just waiting.
Most of you on ballot.
Probably should be ballot. So
I didn't hear that, David, what you said.
So what I'm recommending is so that when we have it announced to the public in the, or whatnot, that the final vote was a full unanimous, for the person who won the initial ballot, just so that you got it for the constituents.
So it just so happens, in case it was a tie, there's another ballot. Your name's on that. Thanks. It just.
With David.
Wait.
You think of everything.
Well, actually, this one wasn't my idea. I can't take credit for that. George is the one that. Cause I did the ballots and he said, well, you should probably have an extra one just in case. And Gabe asked also, what do we do if there's a tie? So. Well, we'll have to vote again, so.
Okay.
There's, yeah. I was wondering why you're putting a lot of thought into that.
I trying to send as many signals to my hand to start moving as possible. Sometimes there's a disconnect.
I can do it.
Tank my bowling alley sometimes.
Maybe we could bring in all three.
Okay. And Laura, with all them today, like. General public comment. Please take no more than 3 minutes. Okay, there's no public comment. We stand adjourned.
Second. Aye.
Lori, I have. A pack